Institute for Education and Research, Atiner for short, I'd like to welcome you to the 7th Annual International Conference on Mediterranean Studies. My name is George Poulos, and I'm Vice President of Research. Atiner was established in 1995, and its mission is to act as a forum where academics and researchers from all over the world can come together to this historic cradle of democracy, Athens, in order to exchange ideas on their research, to interact with each other, and to discuss future developments in their disciplines. Basic activities of Atiner include the organizing and hosting of international conferences and symposiums, such as this one, the carrying out of research, and the production of various publications. Since 1995, Atiner has organized more than 200 international conferences and other events, and has published close to 150 books. Atiner has also organized numerous roundtable discussions, and we'll be having one this afternoon as well as public speeches on topical issues. The Institute is also currently involved in an ambitious project regarding the proposed establishment of an academic village. The aim is to establish a community of research scholars and academics, and the proposed village will include a conference center, living facilities, as well as facilities for research and recreation. You'll find more information on this in the green paper in your file. You should also consult the social program, which is red in color. Tonight's Greek night is to be recommended. Apart from Greek cuisine, there will also be Greek music and dancing, and you can even join in if you like. There's no urban walk tomorrow. It's also on the program, and the person in charge of the urban walk is Dr. Gregory Katsas. And then follows the cruise to selected islands, and lastly, a visit to the ancient site of Delphi. Right, turning to today's formal activities. You should each have a program in your file, and please note, and this is very important, that each presentation is limited to 15 minutes. The chairpersons will keep time and will use 3 and 1 minute reminder cards. I'd like to ask the chairs to adhere strictly to the time constraint. Please allow for questions and discussions after all the papers have been presented and not after each paper. Chairpersons are also requested to fill out the report forms that they'll be receiving. This is important because the final program will be based on the chairperson's reports. Should you need to make use of technical facilities in your presentation, please confirm that everything is in order before the session begins, not during the session. There will be someone from the admin staff to help you in this regard. The chairpersons will also allow a coffee break between sessions. Right, on the issue of publications, the Institute is involved with various publications. Firstly, there are the abstracts which are published. Secondly, the papers that are presented are placed on the web as part of an online paper series soon after the conference, and these have their own ISSN number. They're not peer-reviewed, but they can, of course, be cited. The purpose of this publication series is to firstly disseminate the information in your paper as quickly as possible, and secondly, to allow for feedback from your peers in case you wish to make amendments before submitting your paper for publication in a book. With regard to book publications, you'll receive an email soon after the conference asking you for a final draft for publication consideration and any other information that may be relevant. All papers that are submitted will go through a referee process before they'll be considered for publication in a book. And then finally, Atiner now also has its own journal series, which includes papers which are considered to be outstanding in content and which are selected and peer-reviewed by an editorial board. On the issue of collaboration, ladies and gentlemen, we at Atiner would also like to collaborate with other institutions. Academics, researchers, and institutes are invited to collaborate with our Institute on research and educational projects. And if you're not yet a member of the Institute, we would like you to join and to assist with the reviewing and editing of papers. Part of our vision is to organize visiting fellowships, and we are now in the process of discussing this. Finally, academic colleagues, as is clear from the program, they've come from so many different countries, and we at Atiner sincerely hope that you'll make the most of this opportunity to interact with each other, that you'll enjoy this conference, and that you'll go back with fond memories, and most of all, that you'll want to come back to our conferences. Welcome once again, and I'd now like to call upon our President, Dr. Papanikos, to say a few words. Thank you very much.
First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you here to Athens. Unfortunately, 5 years ago, we were top list in the media when the revolution here. People were dying in the street, but now everything is quiet. By the way, nobody was dying. But that's what the media was saying, at least. Actually, I received an email yesterday, say, is it from, I don't remember the country, but they are suffering. They said, is it safe to come to Athens? Still the media. So it's a nice place to be for a conference, and I hope you will enjoy it. And my name is Gregory Papanikos, Gregory, for if you want to use the non-polite way that they say in Greece, but the friendly way that say in North America. I'll be away most of the day, but I'll be tonight at the Greek night. So if you want me, I'll be there a little bit earlier, and we can discuss any issue that you care to discuss, including collaborations. We're open, we're an association of academics and researchers from all over the world. We are not a Greek association. This is important because a lot of people, they think that we are Greek. We are an international association, that's what we believe we are, at least, based in Athens. So you are more than welcome to help us with ideas and of course with projects, as long as you have the time and the money to implement them. Don't ask for my time and for my money to implement your projects. So this is important. And of course, we can collaborate to build research proposals. We have done it in the past with good universities around Europe, and we are now in the middle of applying for another big project, because we like to waste the European Union's taxpayers' money, let's say. So they give a lot of money for research, or whatever they want to call it research. That's why they go down the drain, their economies, they waste their money. And, but well, at least we can capitalize and do some research as Atiner, and if you are a member, you can help us with this. Now, as Professor Poulos said, we do a lot of work in terms of publication, not a good work. Still we can improve. One improvement is the introduction of journals. And of course, so we can get the best paper. We have thousands of papers to select, because we organize only this year 50 conferences, and usually all of them, they are small. So if they grow, we cut them into pieces, and we organize in different conferences. There are some conferences that no matter how much we cut, they still grow. Education is one of them. But this is important because we want to keep the numbers small. Like if it exceeds 50, then we consider it a big conference and doesn't serve our mission, which is to get together. A lot of people think that they can come here, present their work for 15 minutes and impress the world. You miss the point completely. And I'm saying that for the young generation. You should stay around, meet other people. Here, from what I was informed, we have from 24 different countries. Even if you go to a conference, usually in North America, there are different style of conference. With 1,000 participants, the American Economic Association, for example, you don't find people coming from 24 different countries. They come from 24 different states, which of course they are not countries. Now, we are, as an international association, just to say that our members come from more than 50 different countries. We have 4 vice presidents that they come, one from Singapore, one from Texas, one from California, and one from South Africa. Now, for those that they don't speak English, as I say many times in my opening remarks, the best accent is my accent. So, you know, if you can approach my accent, then you speak perfect English. So So don't be intimidated by the British or South African accent. If people do not understand your English, it's their problem. But it's just not your problem. So don't fail. And usually the Americans and the English and the British, that they use this non-English accent, usually they make it even worse when they ask questions to non-English speakers. And of course the non-English speakers do not understand. You ask them very politely to repeat, and if you don't understand, say we'll discuss it later. Avoid them. If, of course, because you want to get your message across, it is good though to use overhead PowerPoint so people can read at least what you are saying, the main headlines. It's a matter of accent and sometimes English language knowledge. But for us, it has not been this is not a big problem, because we can communicate outside and try to speak, not avoid them. Try to speak. It's very, very important. The accent and of course the communication thing. Now, I don't think I want to say a few things about the substance of the conference. We started this conference. I think the first one was in 2008, and now this is the 7th one. If we go back 7 years and we look at the Mediterranean world, what it looked like, everything was so promising. Even Sarkozy was making up with Carla Bruni, was the president, I think, of France. He was so happy with her, and still had time to consider the union of Mediterranean. 7 years after, it looks like the Mediterranean is in disarray. We have 7 or 8 countries of the Mediterranean that are members of the Eurozone, like Greece, Slovenia, Malta, Cyprus, France, Italy, Spain, Portugal is not. So 8 out of 18. And all of them suffered so much from the economic crisis, Greece included. But the situation is even worse outside the Eurozone Mediterranean countries. We have political problems, we have social problems, and even military problems. We have wars now, real civil wars. Everything has changed. And unfortunately, instead of having this beautiful sea that unites